Okay, so let's unpack all this and really dive deep into how we can build trust and showcase results. All those amazing things we've been working toward.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is. We're going to be focusing a lot on Chapter 4.
Oh, yeah.
The SEO Success Blueprint, which is all about using case studies to really prove our expertise.
It's a good one.
But we're going to be pulling in some stuff from the Google Merchant Center and Google Search Console guides too.
Right.
So think of this deep dive as like a shortcut to understanding how to really make those potential customers believe in our brand and what we do.
You know what I find really fascinating about this chapter?
What's that?
It's that it really zeroes in on that idea of showing, not just telling.
Oh, yeah.
Like anybody can say they're great,
Right.
but actually like backing it up with real world examples. That's where the magic happens.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Exactly.
But how do we actually translate that into something that's convincing for potential customers?
Well, Chapter 4 calls case studies your secret weapon for building trust.
Okay.
So think of it as going beyond just a simple testimonial
Okay.
and creating an actual narrative, a compelling narrative that showcases how you've helped someone achieve success.
Okay, so we're talking about storytelling.
We are.
But what are those key ingredients for a case study that really resonates with people?
Well, I think specificity is key.
Yeah.
This chapter really stresses the importance of using like real names, job titles, company names, even specific numbers to really illustrate the impact you've made.
So instead of just saying we helped a client increase their website traffic, we'd say something like we helped Sarah, the marketing manager at XYZ company, boost their website traffic by 150%.
Exactly.
Okay.
That level of detail, it just adds credibility and makes the story more relatable.
It does.
People can really visualize Sarah's journey and connect with her success.
It also helps paint a much clearer picture of the problem and the solution.
Absolutely.
It's not just like vague claims.
Right.
It's a really tangible demonstration of how our expertise has made a real difference.
And the chapter also emphasizes highlighting the client's challenges
Okay.
and the specific steps you took to help them overcome those obstacles.
So it's not just about the happy ending.
Exactly.
It's about the whole journey.
It's about showing your problem-solving skills, your ability to deliver results, even in challenging situations.
Okay.
Think before and after stories that really showcase the transformation your client underwent.
I like that because it allows potential customers to really see themselves in the client's shoes
Absolutely.
and almost imagine how you could help them achieve those similar results.
And don't forget, weaving a compelling narrative around those facts and figures.
Oh, for sure.
Data alone can be dry and impersonal,
Absolutely.
but a good story brings it to life.
For sure. It makes that emotional connection.
Yes.
Like people might not remember specific statistics, but they'll remember a good story.
Right. And you know what? The chapter actually draws a parallel to
What's that?
Sarah's story.
Oh, yeah?
From Chapter 1 of the PLR and MRR book.
Okay.
Remember how she used those products to build a successful online business around health and wellness?
Yes.
You do.
I remember thinking
Yeah.
that her journey was a case study in itself.
It was.
Yeah.
It showed how leveraging the right tools and strategies can lead to real, tangible success.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I do.
And it's a perfect example of how a compelling narrative can really captivate an audience.
And inspire action.
Exactly.
And speaking of taking action,
Yes.
the chapter really stresses the importance of using a clear call to action at the end of each case study.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So it's not just about leaving them inspired.
It's about giving them a clear path to follow.
Yeah. Like what's the next step?
Exactly, whether that's scheduling a consultation, downloading a resource, visiting your website.
Okay. So it's not just a story without an ending.
A case study without a call to action is like a story without an ending. It leaves the reader hanging.
Okay, so to recap, a powerful case study combines compelling storytelling
Yes.
with very specific data and a very clear call to action.
And it's not just about showcasing your successes, it's about building trust and credibility
Absolutely.
with potential customers by demonstrating your expertise in a very tangible way.
It's like, hey, I've done this before. I can do it for you too.
Exactly. It's about giving them a reason to believe in you and your brand.
Okay, so we've covered like the basics of case studies,
Yeah.
but what are some specific examples of how we can actually apply these principles
Right.
in different scenarios?
Okay.
Like let's say we're promoting a digital product,
Sure.
like an online course.
Okay.
How would we use a case study there?
Well, you could highlight the transformation of a student who took your course and saw incredible results.
Okay.
Maybe they landed their dream job or launched a successful side hustle.
We can even show screenshots of their progress. Testimonials from them or specific metrics that illustrate their improvement.
Exactly. And don't forget to weave in their personal story.
Okay.
What were their challenges? What motivated them?
Right.
How did your course help them achieve their goals?
I love how tangible that makes it.
Yes.
It's not just about the course itself.
Right.
It's about the impact it had on someone's life.
And remember, you can adapt these principles to any industry or niche.
Okay.
Whether you're selling a service, a physical product, or a digital product, the core elements of a compelling case study remain the same.
Speaking of different industries.
Yes.
Remember Tom from Chapter 2 of the PLR book?
Oh, yes.
He was struggling to get his handmade crafts noticed online.
Right.
His story is a great example of how even small businesses can benefit from case studies.
Absolutely.
He could showcase how he used targeted SEO strategies to increase his website traffic and sales.
And, we could talk about how he used the PDM starter kit to create engaging social media content that attracted new customers. Exactly. And he could even showcase specific examples of customer feedback or testimonials that highlight the quality and craftsmanship of his products.
It's all about finding those compelling stories.
Yes.
That really connect with our target audience.
Right.
And demonstrate the value we bring.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to another really important point.
What's that?
Visibility.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter how amazing our case studies are if no one sees them.
You're absolutely right.
So that's where tools like Google Merchant Center and Google Search Console come in.
They're essential.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about those.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways for someone who's just starting to explore these platforms?
Well, let's start with Google Merchant Center.
Okay.
It's a must-have for anyone selling products online, especially if you want those products to show up on Google Shopping and other relevant platforms.
Right, because visibility is everything, right?
Absolutely.
Like we were saying before. If no one can find it, it doesn't matter how good it is.
Exactly.
So when we're setting up our Google Merchant Center account, what are some of those most important things to keep in mind?
Well, it all starts with providing accurate and detailed product information.
Okay.
Think clear titles, compelling descriptions, high-quality images, and relevant keywords that match what potential customers are searching for.
So it's like we're creating a digital storefront.
Exact.
That's both visually appealing,
Yes.
but also informative.
It needs to be both.
Yeah.
You want to make it as easy as possible for people to find your products and understand what makes them special.
And I imagine having accurate pricing and availability information is super important too.
Absolutely.
No one wants to click on a product only to find out it's out of stock or way more expensive than they expected.
Transparency is key.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is to frustrate potential customers with misleading information.
Right, because that could really damage trust.
It can.
Which is what we're trying to build.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
A positive user experience is essential for building trust and encouraging those conversions.
And speaking of user experience, mobile optimization is another critical factor to consider with Google Merchant Center.
Oh, of course.
Make sure your product listings look great and function flawlessly on all devices, especially smartphones.
I can't even remember the last time I shopped on an actual desktop computer.
I know.
It feels like everybody's browsing and buying on their phones these days.
You're absolutely right, and Google knows this.
Yeah.
Which is why they prioritize mobile-friendly websites and product listings.
So if my website isn't optimized for mobile, I'm potentially missing out on a huge chunk of potential customers.
It's a missed opportunity for sure.
Yeah.
Mobile optimization is no longer optional. It's essential for success in today's digital landscape.
Okay, so we've talked about the basics of Google Merchant Center.
Yep.
What about Google Search Console?
Okay.
What can that tool tell us about how our case studies are performing in search results?
Well, think of Google Search Console as your website's health checkup.
Okay.
It provides a ton of data on how your site is performing in search results, including which keywords are bringing in traffic.
So I can see which search terms are actually leading people to my case study pages.
Exactly. And you can also see which pages are ranking highest for those keywords.
Okay.
Which can give you insights into what's resonating with both users and search engines.
That's incredibly valuable.
It is.
It's like having a sneak peek into the minds of my target audience.
And the insights don't stop there.
Ooh, tell me more.
Google Search Console can also alert you to any indexing issues or crawl errors that might be preventing your case study pages from ranking as well as they could.
Crawl errors.
Yeah.
What are those?
They're essentially roadblocks that prevent Google's bots from accessing and understanding your website content.
Okay.
It's like having a hidden treasure chest that no one can find.
So even if my case studies are like really well written and optimized, they might not be visible to potential customers if there are crawl errors on my website.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good to know.
That's why it's crucial to regularly check Google Search Console for any red flags and address them promptly.
Okay, so it's like preventative maintenance.
It is.
For my website.
Yeah.
I'd rather catch those issues early on.
Absolutely.
Than lose out on like valuable traffic later.
That's the right mindset.
Okay.
A healthy website is crucial for achieving optimal visibility and attracting the right audience.
Now, the sources mentioned something called a performance report.
Yes.
What exactly is that? And how can it help me understand how people are finding my case studies?
The performance report is a goldmine of information.
Okay.
It can tell you which queries are bringing in the most clicks to your case study pages, which pages are ranking highest, and even which countries your traffic is coming from.
Wow. That is a lot of data.
It is.
So how do I even begin to make sense of it all?
We'll start by focusing on the metrics that are most relevant to your goals. Are you aiming for more traffic, higher rankings, or more conversions?
I'd say my primary goal right now is just to get more people reading my case studies.
Okay.
You know, I want to showcase my expertise and build trust with those potential customers.
In that case, you'll want to pay close attention to the clicks metric.
Okay.
It tells you how many times people have clicked on your case study pages in search results.
So the higher the number of clicks, the more people are actually engaging with my case studies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can use this data to identify which case studies are performing well and which ones might need some optimization.
What if I have a case study that's getting a lot of impressions, but not many clicks?
Okay.
What does that tell me?
That's a great question. It could be a sign that your page title or meta description isn't enticing enough.
Oh, okay.
Remember, those are the first things people see in search results, so they need to be compelling and relevant.
So even if my case study is amazing,
right,
it might not get the attention it deserves if the title and the meta description aren't quite there.
It's like having a delicious cake hidden away in a plain box.
Okay.
You need to make sure the packaging is just as appealing as the product itself.
So how do I write a meta description that like makes people want to click? Are there like specific tips or tricks?
Keep it concise, compelling, and relevant to the content of your case study.
Okay.
Highlight the key benefits or takeaways, and use action-oriented language to encourage clicks.
It's like a mini advertisement for my case study.
It is.
Okay.
And remember, Google Search Console can also help you track your click-through rate, which is the percentage of people who click on your link after seeing it in search results.
So I can see if my meta description tweaks are actually working.
Exactly. It's a great way to test and refine your approach until you find what works best for your target audience.
This is all starting to make a lot of sense.
Good.
I'm realizing that optimizing my case studies for search engines is just as important as writing them well in the first place.
You're absolutely right. It's a two-pronged approach. Create compelling content that resonates with your audience, and then make sure that content is visible and accessible to those who are searching for it.
It's like building a beautiful house and then making sure the address is clearly visible.
That's a perfect analogy.
So people can actually find it.
And speaking of making things easy to find, let's talk about internal linking.
Internal linking?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
It's the art of connecting different pages on your website using hyperlinks.
So like linking my case study pages to my blog posts.
Exactly.
Or vice versa.
Internal linking serves several purposes. It helps users navigate your website more easily. It spreads link juice around your site, and it helps search engines understand the structure and hierarchy of your content.
Link juice.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. Tell me more.
It's a term SEOs use to describe the value or authority that a link passes from one page to another.
Okay.
Think of it as a vote of confidence.
So when I link to my case study page, my homepage, I'm essentially giving it a boost in credibility.
You got it.
Okay.
And the more internal links you have pointing to a page, the more valuable it becomes in the eyes of search engines.
So it's not just about quantity.
It's about quality, too.
Yeah.
The relevance and authority of the linking page also play a role. A link from your homepage carries more weight than a link from a random blog post.
Okay, so I should be strategic about where I'm placing my internal links.
Think quality over quantity. Focus on creating a logical and intuitive linking structure that helps users find the information they need while also boosting the visibility of your most important pages, like those case studies.
This is all starting to feel like a little bit of a puzzle.
It is a bit of a puzzle.
But I'm enjoying putting the pieces together.
And that's the beauty of SEO.
Yeah.
It's a constant process of learning, experimenting, and refining your approach until you find what works best for your unique goals and audience.
It's definitely a challenge.
It is.
But it's also incredibly rewarding when you start to see those results.
It is.
Speaking of results,
yes.
Let's talk about how we can actually measure the success of our case studies.
Okay.
How do we know if they're actually achieving those desired outcomes?
Well, you're on the right track.
Okay.
Google Analytics is an essential tool for any digital marketer. It provides a wealth of data on how people are interacting with your website, including your case study pages.
So I can see how many people are visiting my case study pages, how long they're staying.
Yes.
And whether they're clicking on my calls to action.
Exactly. And you can use this data to identify areas for improvement, for example. If you notice that people are bouncing off your case study pages quickly, it could be a sign that the content is too long, too technical, or simply not engaging enough.
So it's not just about like driving traffic to the page.
Right.
It's about keeping people engaged once they get there.
You gotta think quality over quantity. It's better to have 100 engaged visitors who read your entire case study than 1,000 visitors who bounce off after a few seconds.
Yeah, because those 100 are more likely to convert.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's about creating that positive user experience that leaves people feeling informed and inspired.
And ultimately, it's about using those case studies to build trust, demonstrate your expertise, and convert those visitors into loyal customers.
I'm really starting to see how all these pieces fit together.
Good.
It's like a very holistic approach to digital marketing.
It is.
Where everything from case studies to Google Analytics plays a really important role.
You're catching on quickly. It's all about creating a cohesive strategy that aligns with your business goals and helps you achieve sustainable growth.
And it's about embracing the journey.
Absolutely.
SEO is constantly evolving.
Right.
So it's important to stay curious, stay adaptable,
keep learning,
and never stop learning.
Well said.
Right.
And speaking of learning, we've only scratched the surface of what's possible with case studies.
Okay.
There's a whole world of creative applications and strategic nuances to explore.
I'm eager to dive deeper.
Good.
What are some of like the more advanced strategies or unconventional approaches to using case studies?
That's a great question, and it's a perfect segue into the next part of our deep dive. Stay tuned because we're about to unlock even more insights and unlock the full potential of case studies.
Okay, so I'm really excited to continue this conversation about case studies because it feels like we've uncovered so many valuable insights already.
We have. We've talked about, everything from the core principles of storytelling and specificity to the importance of optimizing for search engines and tracking your results.
But you mentioned that there's even more to explore.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to like those advanced strategies and unconventional approaches.
Absolutely. One area that often gets overlooked is the power of visual storytelling.
Visual storytelling.
Yes.
So it's not just about like the words we use, it's about how we actually present the information visually.
Exactly. Think infographics, videos, charts, and even like interactive elements that bring your case studies to life.
I can see how that would make them more engaging and memorable.
Yes.
Especially because people are so visually oriented these days, especially with social media.
You're absolutely right. And, visual elements can help simplify complex information and make it more digestible for your audience.
It's like taking a dense research paper and turning it into a captivating documentary.
That's a great analogy. And don't underestimate the power of video testimonials.
Oh, man. I bet those are incredibly impactful.
They are.
Seeing and hearing someone share their experience firsthand just adds so much authenticity.
It's like having a virtual coffee chat with a satisfied customer.
And it allows potential customers to connect with that person on a really emotional level.
Exactly. Video testimonials can build trust and credibility in a way that written testimonials simply can't match.
Okay, so if I'm going to invest in creating case studies, I should definitely consider incorporating visual elements in video whenever possible.
It's an investment that will pay dividends in the long run.
Another thing I'm curious about is how we can leverage case studies to target specific segments of our audience.
That's a great point. Segmentation is key to effective marketing. You wouldn't use the same marketing message to target teenagers and senior citizens, right?
Of course not. Their needs, interests, pain points are completely different.
Exactly the same principle applies to case studies.
Yes.
By creating case studies that resonate with specific segments of your audience, you can increase their impact and relevance.
So if I'm selling an online course about digital marketing, I might create one case study that targets like beginners.
Right.
And another one that targets like more experienced marketers.
Exactly. You can tailor the content, the language, even the visual elements to appeal to the specific needs and interests of each segment.
It's about speaking their language.
It is.
And showing them that you understand their unique challenges.
And by highlighting the successes of people who are similar to them, you can increase their belief that they can achieve similar results.
That's, hey, look, if they can do it, so can you.
Exactly. And remember, you can use your website analytics and customer data to identify your different audience segments and understand their unique characteristics.
It's like having a secret weapon that allows you to tailor your marketing efforts with like laser precision.
And that brings us to another unconventional approach, using case studies as part of your content marketing strategy.
Content marketing.
Yes.
So we're not just creating like standalone case studies.
Right.
We're actually integrating them into our blog posts, our articles, our social media updates.
Exactly. Case studies can be a powerful form of content that educates, entertains, and inspires your audience.
I can definitely see how they would add credibility and depth to any piece of content.
Think of it as weaving real-world examples and success stories into your content to make it more relatable and engaging.
It's like taking a theoretical concept and grounding it in reality.
And remember, people love stories.
They do.
Case studies are a natural way to tell those stories and connect with your audience on an emotional level.
So instead of just talking about like the benefits of SEO, I could share a case study about a client who saw incredible results after implementing our SEO strategies.
Exactly. And you can use excerpts from your case studies to create social media posts, email newsletters, or even guest blog posts.
So we're like repurposing those valuable insights.
We are.
And spreading them across different platforms.
It's a win-win. You're getting more mileage out of your case studies, and you're providing your audience with valuable and engaging content.
Man, this is really making me rethink my whole content strategy.
Good.
I'm starting to see case studies as like a foundational element.
They can be.
That can be woven into every aspect of my marketing.
That's the beauty of case studies. They're versatile, impactful, and adaptable to a wide range of marketing goals and strategies.
This has been an incredible journey.
It has.
Exploring the world of case studies with you, I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of their power and their potential.
And remember, the key to success with case studies is to approach them with authenticity, creativity, and a genuine desire to showcase the value you bring to your clients.
Well said. Thanks for sharing your expertise with me. I'm excited to put all these insights into action and start crafting case studies that truly resonate with my audience.
And I'm confident you'll achieve amazing results. Remember, the world of digital marketing is constantly evolving, so stay curious, stay adaptable, and never stop experimenting.
I'm ready for the challenge. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Until next time, keep those case studies flowing and those results growing.